bu. Sakin, chill. Hani beyin kullanmadan, anlık düşünmeden. Genelde yaşı küçük, Twitch kültürü pek olmayan arkadaşlarımız Pepega. Pepega'larımızı bu arada eğitiyoruz. Pepega rehabilitasyon merkezimiz var. Orada elimizden gelen yardımı yapıyoruz. Maçız. Yasin 10 lira. Abi doğum günün kutlu olsun Nurten der misin? Demiş olduk. Ama da yapmıyorum öyle bir şey. Onu Poppy de geliyor yakında.
He's just sliced through ACEND. I thought maybe he was good for one of those, not two. And suddenly that initial work, that kind of back and forth to find Defo feels so irrelevant how this round pays out. But cned and Starzo ain't gonna have much. Shado's gonna find cned and Starzo's position is more.
Kim alır Fracture'ı, ne diyorsunuz? Gambit'in Fracture'ı güçlü. ACEND'i hiç bilmiyorum.
İzlemedik değil mi?
Evet, hiç izlemedik Fracture'da.
Bir ikinci map'i gördük. Bu Gambit'te. Bir sonraki ACEND. Sonra ACEND.
Gambit'te diyorsun. 2-1. Bir sonraki map Icebox kanka. Icebox Gambit'in güçlü bu arada. Gerçi ACEND'in de bayağı iyi. ACEND deyip durma kanka, ACEND. ACEND map amına. ACEND kıta amına.
Kıta amına.
Bok gibi map kimlerden çıkacak belli değil. Abi info@riotgames.com. Bana ağlamayın. Dobramazak seviliyorsun istemiş. Çok teşekkürler kardeşim.
Bu arada bu iki takımı da herhangi bir şekilde Fraction'ı izledik mi?
Ben Gambit'ini izledim. İzledik kanka, sen de izledin. İyi oynuyorlar. İyi oynuyor. Tabii defansı yine kuvvetli burada Gambit'in.
Defansı da iyi. Biri var mı ya?
Evet. Genel olarak defansları iyi ya. O yüzden şu an Gambit ne kadar el alırsa o kadar sıkıntı. Ataklar çünkü.
Hemen geliyor.
ACEND sadece bir kere oynamış. O da second party turnuvada. Third party turnuva demek istedin galiba.
You can see the net just being closed on ACEND at the moment. Nat's taking a little more space as well, herding them forward. He's going to hear all of this. Actually going to pull the trigger on the player at the end. That's going to be Killer's caught. He knows Starzo's nearby. He got that information earlier, so it's just teed up. So comfortable for the man. And cned has been tagged, so position's already been noted. He's got two coming in from tower, and neither of these shots really finding what he wants. That one does. Any more? Yeah, one more.
Enti oğlum.
Confidence booster with a round regardless is Gambit's.
3 survive, 3 Spectres. Solid footing for round 3 here. Nats could be such a problem here for ACEND. They need to be aware of that. And this almost just leans into the perfect sort of map for Nats. Give him the space to lurk and find value, be behind some of these hits and capitalize on the space created from those rotations. And already we've seen him do that.
MVP'ler kim olur var mı tahmin? Yani şu ana kadar MVP kim dersen bence Zeke şu ana kadar MVP. Daha bakalım mapler devam.
Beckoning to go forward, does actually get towards the site, clears it. That's a rifle straight away into the pocket and a spike plant to boot.
Planted. On the wall once again, making sure they have a very open plant here. Reset back towards main and potentially greet Bone.
Bu ele alması lazım ACEND.
There's lots of bodies for him to deal with as the rest of ACEND come through spawn.
Bone Cold has to be so integral here in my mind, but this Sony players literally.
Ama vur onu Bone Cold ya.
Ducks under it. Oh dear, this is looking a bit dangerous to say the least. Killhead, Starzo and Zeke, what are you going to do with this? Nats makes his appearance. And look at this shutdown from Gambit. This was never meant to be this way. But Gambit don't care. They make it their own. 5 stand and 4 rifles make it through.
Prime Gaming flawless in their
Alo.
bonus.
Alo. Kanka hoş geldin.
Ne oldu abi? Hoş bulduk.
Kanka bonusu da aldılar. Şu anda tekrar eko. ACEND 4-0 olacak muhtemelen ve Gambit saldırı oynuyor.
Again, awkward engagement there.
Hayırlısı.
But I mean,
Hayırlısı
as
indeed.
soon
Bir
as they
tık
get side control,
sıkıntılardayız.
it just looks so comfortable for Gambit.
Aynen.
Again, the wall.
Bir saniye sayalım mı?
Cino da sıkıntıya girmiş. Tabi sayalım 39, 38, 37.
Tamam ben
See
sustum.
here if Ascend can do any damage.
Durdurdum başlattım. 30,
31,
29, 28.
Çok iyi.
Siktim.
Benden
Look to
önde.
slow things down. Chronicle will find Bone Cold getting a little curious.
Açtım, Boncolt öldü amına koyayım.
Arcade.
Just looks like Gambit is on control of the ebb and
There
flow
you
of
go.
this. They know that Ascend want to try and get not necessarily in their
Cino'yu
face.
kes.
Cino yılan.
Haberleri yok.
Tıs,
Something, and
tıs.
so aware of the possibility of seeing that. Yes, the steps are heard, and actually a second.
Oh.
But an instantaneous trade. Zeke's still going to do well for one, can't convert. Second.
Ah
It's a
lan.
3v1 killers. You got anything up the sleeve? Absolutely not. Chronicle is there. And again, Gambit just striding now. This is when the
ACEND
money
ilk kez
gets
oynuyor galiba, bir
solidified.
PDM var.
Everything starts feeling so right for them.
The big thing, particularly on
Kanka
Francis,
arkanda.
look at this early round
Olur, olur.
progress in terms of
Olur,
ultimates.
4-0. Şimdi
So
hangi
many
ne rounduna
possibilities
geldik?
for making a play for these orbs.
Kritik.
You look now ready
Tabii.
to
Round,
go
round,
for the
kritik
rolling
round.
thunder.
Hadi
Kritik round. Harbiden kritik round. Ve
Shados one away
bak
from
ne zaman
progress.
kritik round desek kanka ne geliyor? Timeout geliyor.
Ascend
Time
wanna
out
take
geliyor.
a
Tabii.
breather already.
Sağ sol.
I feel like it's the right choice here.
Sağ dolaşın hızlandırmaca.
This is a very awkward round to make a huge adjustment, right? In terms
don't-
of
I don't think it's even adjustment though. Just get composure back. Because
Ya
they have been
abi,
absolutely
Allah
backhanded
aşkına.
until this point. It's not been like a
Bir şey
close
atacağım
thing.
Sam.
no, you're right. At CNC now.
Oğlum
Linos,
hakikaten
your
attığın
makes me
tweet
think
doğru
they're
amına koyayım.
probably
Hangisi
gonna
gerçek net
stick
bilemiyorum
with
artık. Şuna bakar
Abi
mısın?
evet. Benim de öyle gerçek. Yani harbiden bilmiyorum kim abi. Gerçek
Ama full
kim?
destek abi. Full destek
Really
yine de.
enough for it.
Bulamıyorum
Kanka
abi.
bir desek de
Bulamıyorum
çözüm
amına
bulamıyoruz amına
koyayım.
koyayım.
Enerji.
It's looking like Gambit now going to focus towards Dish. And if they can get in behind it, it's difficult really, especially with got to make the consideration. This pressure comes through from Hall.
Oğlum Gambit'in koçunun önünde istatistiği falan var. Bu ne amına koyayım, adam çalışmış gelmiş.
That's when the rotation becomes crucial. If
Hit up,
one
mid
body
up var
from
kanka
Ascend can
herifin
come
elinde.
up, pick up that slack towards ropes.
Kanka bu eleman
ensure
çok
that
cool
there's
gözükmüyor
no
mu?
secondary
Tam
threat.
bir koç ya.
Hakikaten öyle ya.
There's a third threat. There's a fourth threat. There's so many
Ama zaten
positions
takım olarak da
that can make
cool
it
var bence
difficult.
ya.
Holding on to these sides,
Gambit.
committing to
Evet,
holding
harbiden
side
öyle.
ahead of some of these executions, it's so tough.
Yeah, there's layers to this.
Oğlum adamlarda Shadows var lan. Çeçen amına koyayım. Adam Khabib Nurmagomedov amına koyayım.
CNed has
Ne?
to find
O
a
kim
bit of
lan?
impact in my mind.
Khabib
Nurmagomedov.
kanka. Khabib Nurmagomedov var ya.
You know that
O
ghost
kim lan?
versus Vandal is
Starf'da
definitely
Hasbullah
something that's a
amına
bit
koyayım.
frustrating, I'm sure.
Bizim soğuktan götümüz titriyor, adam shortla
Early
oturuyor.
exploration begins.
Azbullah deme
Baba
ya.
benim
Abi ben
Ben
kopuyorum
şeyim
ya.
ya.
Çok komik değil mi ama?
bende kan fazlalığı var.
So we're talking about that three.
Gerçekten hemoglobin fazlalığı var.
Evet.
Again, it will be noted.
Kolay kolay üşümem yani.
Homore-
Cold will hear the
Hemoroid
boom,
mi?
but there's a trap.
Hemoglobin kanka sende ya.
Kanka tamam.
No readjustment
Sindar
just
12.
yet.
ayın kutlu olsun.
See what that smoke on main makes it so difficult for Cena to find something here.
So
Oğlum,
much
kombolara
invested
bak,
though,
neler oluyor
all-wise
amına
into this
koyayım.
as well. Redgar and Chronicle both putting everything they have into this round early on. Bone Gold still good to catch across though. Spots another and that's Shados. Managing to stay alive, but Zened's in danger. He's got players left and right. Zeke's gone
Kanka!
down. And oh no,
Alo.
Zened burns
Cinom,
alive.
Cinom.
Bone Cold, Starzo and Killers put to task, put to test. And Shados passes his. It's traded out eventually, but the spike's gone down. The ult comes in.
I
But
know
now
exactly
Starzo
where
and
you
Bone
are.
Cold are presented the unfavorable, unfathomable
Çok
task. But
iyi.
actually getting Red God's made this possible. Look at the HP on
Kanka canlar çok yakın.
4 HP.
Pompalı
Yemedi,
var.
neslemedi, neslemedi.
Actually, Starzo
Yedi,
Ha yemiş lan
yedi.
yemiş.
divide in as well. Nat's the last man standing.
The king of cool though. Look at this guy.
Eyvah.
composed
Çözer
as
çözer
ever.
çözer çözer çözer.
Çözer.
Oh,
Bırakma,
the
bırakma,
defuse is
bırakma,
not gonna
bırakma.
stop.
Nice.
The defuse comes in
Nice
and
oldu.
just make it
Çık vur
across
bir
the
de.
finish
Şimdi bu
line.
kadar önemli roundtu. Önemli roundtu da ekonomi gene yaraklarda.
Şöyle bir sıkıntı var, silah çekemeyeceğiz.
Evet. El aldık borca girdik misali.
Borca girdik.
They create enough pressure on Dish where ultimately Ascend have to make a decision, right? They have to choose one way or the other.
Cinom
to
burada
address
yandı
something. You
ya.
can see
İremessa.
plan in place to address
10 lira.
that inside
Survivor Bernabu 2.25-2.50 arası.
Actually, it's the molly kill from
İrem
Chronicle
şunu
to
short
actually
link
find
at ya.
CNed. Beautiful setup from Gam. Again, lose the round, yes.
2.25. Nereye geldik amına koyayım?
Economy kept in check here. 19k behind
Tamam.
this purchase for Gambit.
Farklı bir
Space play
programlanmış.
coming out, gonna try and push up as well. Send
Teşekkürler
all
bu
play
önemli
down.
bilgi için İrem.
Could be Chronicle on the other side, has to kind of respect that. Starzo though.
Starzo.
just sat in that smoke hoping for someone to make an
Neydi?
appearance, but it's always
Ah, lan
favorable.
oğlum.
Abi ne oldu bir anda 5 ve 2 oldu.
Can't get a clean start in any of
Oğlum
this and
yıkıldık amına
just
koyayım
gets
Rauf.
dismantled.
Kanka gerçekten
This is
mükemmel
Gambit
olabilirler mi
looking
ya?
Ascend Echo.
formidable right now.
Absolutely. Was creeping back
Sam.
online for them
Ne
already.
oldu abi?
Kiles adam vurmamamız Sami.
That blade storm, they're put in an awkward position in that previous round.
Hadi.
It's
Ascend.
what to purchase. Zeke now
Ascend.
is a showstopper.
Bu arada Zeke'in ultisi var.
But look at it. It's
Bence bu map'i hala bitti diye bakmamalıyız. Ne diyorsunuz?
on the brink of his own showstopper.
Map'ten pardon round.
Yani
He passed halfway for the Rolling
bakalım.
Thunder.
Gambit defansta
30K now in
inşallah
the bank
sıçar.
for Gambit.
Böyle bir momentumu yakalarsa
Ascend need a couple
Ascend.
of rounds, but they need to be flawless if they want to build back in, reduce this deficit.
I feel like the phrase easier said than done.
Tamam,
is,
round gitmiş olarak
understatement.
bakabiliriz.
Chronicle could
Kolay
be in
kanka
trouble here.
zaten.
He's got
Çok zor ya.
okay,
Not
no,
so
he's
much.
absolutely fine. Chronicle has nothing to fear. cned seems like he can't hit a barn door right now. He's having a
Alo.
nightmare of a game.
O mental demişti bu arada Cino'nun yediği az önce.
Tamam,
When you said
Anti.
flawless, you
Anti
meant for
diyelim, anti
Ascend,
diyelim.
right?
Yes.
Not Gambit.
Yeah,
Right.
I did.
Tuncer başta 21 aydır
Ascend
seri
playing
subscribe
into a
olmuş.
perfect
Tuncer
as
çok
well.
teşekkür
The
ederim.
map
Çok sağ ol.
control is
Balsın.
absolutely insane from Gambit.
Tabii Kubat
Nats
damage
hasn't
dedi.
died yet. Chronicle always in the right position to greet some of this aggression on the side of Ascend. Hey, it comes back to Breeze in some of these scenarios where Gambit almost, they're baiting Ascend to push them.
Yes.
They want them to get curious, explore some of these spots. Because they have so many contingencies.
I feel like we might see a couple more of those prime game
Teknik
calls
pause.
as timeout comes in. And we
Bu arada kritik round.
kind of take a step back as the first two maps feel
Tek pas kimin aldığını
they exist in
göstermiyorlar
their
ha?
own right, but it does change now when we come forward into these
Ee,
next few.
genelde hiç
We have
göstermiyorlar
this,
kanka.
Then I
Tek
think
pause
Icebox and then
olunca.
split
That's correct, yeah.
if needed.
And you talk about the mental
Önemsiz
game.
bilgi olarak görüyorlar galiba.
It's fantastic to see Ascend bounce back.
Bak, kulak takıyorlar. Aleykümselam birader, hoş geldin.
Blowing leads or fumbling, you know, really crucial rounds are the ones that a team like
Efendim
Gambit
canım?
will always punish you for. It's not just
Arkadaşlığımdan oldu
the
ya
next 3 or
dedim.
4
Oh,
rounds
the knock on.
Birader deyince arkadaş olmuyor muyuz?
play with.
Yo bir
So that's
atarlı
really
söyledim abi.
important.
Sarhoş abi.
Think about now the way this has started.
Bunun
If
ayık
Gambit
olduğu
run
gün
away
yok
with
ki ya.
fracture, we're then, like,
Ya ne
in the
alakası?
best of
Bak,
times, right?
adınız
It then
çıkmıştı o güzel.
becomes back towards that mental game.
Sen konseri kaçırdın mı?
It is.
Cyber.
Always here when Ascend
Kimin
won a
konserinde?
round,
Oo,
Very
biz
much so.
patladık maç başlamadan önce seremonide.
It is, and just to keep you guys at home updated, just a mouse issue.
Abi
I
Lil
believe
Pampa daha var.
Ascend, so hopefully
Salak.
they fix that soon.
Z çıktı Z.
Will help their scoreline at 6-1, and
Ben tanımıyorum kendimi.
not having the best of times. He's had a rough game so far, especially on this map. I'd say the
Konuşurken
last
salyası
couple
akıyor
of
ya.
times, either
Başlayın sesini.
or above average for him, so good enough.
Çok güzel. Ridik.
Scrappbooks indeed.
Bunun bana boyutlarını yollasana.
Stuff. That looks-
how many pages deep are we
Gönderdim
already
abi
in?
onları da.
77
Gönderdin mi?
rounds in. How many of
Evet.
how many of these pages have we
Yeah.
explored already?
Ha siktir, yeni emote ekliyorum chat.
Comparing KDA maybe?
maybe.
Keyifler yerinde Gambit'te ha.
I have so many more.
As a player that's looked deadly.
I'm
Absolutely deadly.
I'm glad
for
we can
champions.
talk about this though, because I think Nats obviously got everyone's attention, right? When we
The
first looked at
headline,
Gambit,
right?
it was Nats. Synonymous with the name and the greatness came along with it. But there was obviously the supporting act. And initially, I think it was fair to say...
Bekle oğlum, daha
among the
eklemedim ya.
supporting act, he's up there now in my mind. He has exceeded, and I think in this map especially, we are actually seeing both of them pop off again. Both players looking untouchable.
Actually, they're probably just
56.
comparing lurk kills maybe?
Oh,
Or
maybe.
deaths. I
Eee,
think actually at the minute Nats is winning that one.
Yeah, I don't think...
I still want that. I didn't even catch on this whether we actually know how many times Nats died in the second half of Breeze, because that was beginning to annoy me.
Yeah.
How good he is, and
It's a little frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, and you look down at the end of the round, it's like he's not even taking any damage.
And I think this would be the first event now in Valorant's lifespan we can look at, you know, not greatest of all times, it's still too early, but he's something else, I think, and a lot of people noticed that
Eklendi.
early on. Obviously, Nat's there just
Ay,
blaring
birazdan
his
gelir
but,
tabi.
yeah, his capability has seemed to be something to keep in mind. Now we've seen a lot of kind of, as I said, it was easy to look at, you know, your jets, your, you know, occasional raises, your bits and bobs. In that regard, you're like, oh yeah, fantastic, and then Nats just change your mind on everything. If he can keep this level up, right? If he has a couple more
Vıtıcım Pog.
reserves, I don't think we can say that he's not the best in the world, like one of, or the best in the world right now.
Yeah, and the thing to also consider, early scrimbit days, right? And you look at
Aynen eklenmiş.
who have shown a
Güzel, güzel.
and again had a couple of really highlight performances individually. That's the thing, you look at Gambit, you think, where is the weak spot? Because online, I think the discussion is always circulated around Defo.
Yep.
And maybe today's not the best example, but he's delivered for Gambit.
Oh, he's a land beast.
Abi arkadaki şarkı çok iyi.
Absolute land monster. There's not many
Tunç
others.
CZ 12 aydır, Pentos 13 aydır, Ahmet 24 aydır, Tuncer 20 aydır. Çok teşekkür, hoş geldiniz. Abi merhaba, arkadaşımla birlikte İzmir'de bal satıyoruz. Arkadaşımın babası Türkiye'nin en büyük bal toplamcılarından. Ondan alıp harçlık çıkarıyoruz. Ballar çok kaliteli ve alan herkes çok memnun kalıyor. Çeşit mevcut, İzmir'deyiz. Almak... Amını sikeyim, o kadar izliyorsun, bağış atıyorsun. Göndersene, bal gönder, bal.
ACEND needs to wake up and it needs to happen right about now.
They do. I think Gambit
Hala almak istersen falan yapıyor. Satış yapıyor ya.
A lot of focus towards B.
2 bal gönder la.
They follow up immediately on this again. The weaker side of the setup on the side of ACEND. Lots of things for Starbucks to deal with initially when we forced away from that choke point.
Gun round. Güzel Zeke.
Just yet, but they're just on the verge. Now Zeke was
Zeke,
the first.
alo.
Zeke, don't know what happened, but Starzo. Oh no, it's an absolute disaster again. What is going on? ACEND! It's all falling to pieces. I'm a little taken aback
Zeke
for
ne
words
yaptı
here, 'cause
la?
Gambit for once didn't have to turn all the screws. ACEND kind of did it for themselves, and that's to shut down the round at 7-1. I don't think that pause really stilled the nerves much.
No.
Bir replay alalım, bir replay alalım. Kiles niye 0 kill? Alo, combat score 9 da amına koyayım.
Gambit barely breaking a sweat. It looks so comfortable.
Acaba sıkıntı Kiles'te miydi? O yüzden mi durdurdular?
Ne yaptı kanka bu çocuk?
Bir sıkıntım var.
Desperately shut down these hits before they come. Okay.
Well, maybe.
Görmemiştim şimdi.
Just this wall causes so many.
Kanka zaten
problems
ölecekmiş
in terms
çocuk.
of the
Basmış
sideline
ultiyi
combo,
amına koyayım.
generator
Bari adama
flipping.
kill gitmesin demiş.
It's so difficult for ACEND to find something on the way back in that Gambit are able to isolate both players on site time and time
Ulan
again.
ya.
Here he is. The Apex Predator himself, Nats.
Cino.
Yet to be found. Chronicle is so sharp as well. The guy looks untouchable. And we wait to see what's now up the sleeve. Zeke. You know that you're being hunted down slowly but surely, but
Ay.
four still stand. Good
Lan
connection
bonk
with
oldum da
Bonk, but
Şerif'i
instantaneous trade for Shade.
minimum bir kili var ya bu
And it's
çocuğun.
pretty much unforgiving. As the site now
Kiles,
begins
adam
to
vur,
be
adam vur, Kiles.
squeezed and taken over. Spike on route as well. And it's Zeke and Starzo to face it down, and Nats again yet to die.
Starzo is going to be given one. Zados actually will challenge. Slowed down now. Marshall in hand.
Ah lan.
Vurdu sandım biliyor musun?
Harbi ya. Sıkmadı.
Him and Chronic. I want to see that for the first time ever. I think on broadcast I've said this. I want to see headshot percentages because Chronicle and Nats right now it's aim labs. That's all it is.
Yeah, like some people were sad the screen was.
Adama ne flame atıyorum, moral düşüyorum, biraz gata geliyor. Lan beni mi duyuyor? Beni mi duyuyor amına koyayım?
Of their own, so don't worry.
Ben burada backseat gaming yapıyorum.
And decided to work with it himself. And 8-1. It's becoming quite
Bu map ACEND'in haritası mıydı? Yok, Gambit'in haritası.
Another buy round here. Look at the ultimates. Showstopper, Rolling Thunder. Chronicle close to the orbital strike once again. The other side, there are ultimates available here for ACEND.
But cned.
He has to find something here with the operator.
Niye
Has
böyle
to.
oldu bu maç ya?
Okay.
Yani Fracture alışmamış ya ACEND. ACEND'i hiç Fracture'da görmemiştik zaten.
No one can get past him. He's the immovable object. Bone Cold now noted, forced to fight.
Birader hakikaten elimiz kolumuz tutmuyor. Bu ne amına koyayım?
Oğlum keşke Fracture'ı banlasaydık Heaven'ı banlamak yerine amına koyayım.
Oh my word, excuse me, it's Killers who finally falls. This is just down to two, Starzo and cned. And they're so split on this. Isolated again. That's just
Kanka çok fikirsiz değil miyiz ya map'te?
Evet.
Harbi çok fikirsiziz
Hakikaten
ya.
öyle ya. Adam yürüyüp gerçekten orayı salmadı abi net. Oranı ne bilmiyorum ama. İsmini bilmiyorum ama. Sürekli oynadığı yeri salmadı abi. Kimse geçemiyor oradan.
Onlar şeyi banladı. Bind'i banladı. Zaten ACEND'in en iyi misi. Ama ACEND Heaven'ı banladı.
This basically allows Gambit to just do whatever they want on the other side of the map. And you look as soon as
Net
contact comes
16-0
through, you look
mı
for
oynuyor?
Ascend to be
Ne
making
diyorsun
moves
sen
in terms of rotation. You look towards the minimap and they're all stood still. They're all stood still, Lauren.
Bakar mısın abi?
Find a spark, Ascend.
Kanka
Find
normal
something.
düzgün buy yaptıklarını görmedim daha ben
Losing like
ACEND'in ya.
this could echo through the rest of this game.
Peki
And
Burak
Gambit
Kaya'nın
are
ilk
not
sikti mi
stopping.
abi?
Defo
Bura
finding
Gambit map'i
cned.
kardeşim.
Chronicle looking to deny some of the vision from tower, allow and facilitate the play to come in. The site's being taken and no one's going to stop it. They still know there's someone up towards it, and there's those ults coming on back through. Maybe this time
Ulti.
there'll be some blood drawn.
Kanka Raze açtı ki ulti.
They
Aa bir
still
daha
hold
kill
the
aldı
site. They
abi.
hold their nerve and they still keep just racking up the bodies. No matter what they do, Nats finally goes down. But then there's the second line. Then there's Chronicle. Then there's Defo. Then there's Redgar. And
Attı
none of it
sandım.
is working for Ascend.
Niye sattı sanıyorum?
Gambit look untouchable.
At this point, it's a story of momentum. The showstopper there completely mitigates that rolling thunder. They can't push through. There's smokes in the way.
Ne yapacağız?
Deal with.
Durumları çok kötü abi
Ascend
şu an.
just haven't shown
Ona
any
bir-
response yet. And I was talking about this before the
Taraflar
game
değilsin,
started today.
görüşürüz
In terms of
mü?
fracture, was it propaganda? People were talking about, Gambit looking fantastic, but Ascend it could be the ace.
Tam da
up the
taraflar
sleeve.
değişene kadar ama
Veto for me.
şey kalmadı oğlum. Ona 1 la. Hadi ona 2 oldu diyelim.
Ama nereden dönen maçlar
Now
oldu
we come
abi.
back to how rattled are Ascend by this sort of scoreline.
Ya git elini yüzünü yıka amına koyduğum ya sikeceğim.
Very at this point because Gambit are
O ne?
extreme
O ne?
confidence and Shados just gets the freest kill of his
Vuruşa
life.
bak Shados'un.
It's all too simple. And nothing in any of these strat books and plays and considerations that Ascend had are going to make a blind bit of difference because right now Starzo is the only one who can do anything to deny this, and it's a 1v5.
Yani net bu map'e özel hazırlanmış gibi oynuyor anlamadım.
Staring down the barrel of a gun. It's done for. I don't care who you are. I don't see a world where this game
Kanka
changes.
sat komandosu ya.
Gördüğünü vuruyor ya.
11-1.
They're attacking half here on Fracture. An absolutely terrifying performance. Nats 19-1, Chronicle
Eğlen
17-2.
Kenke. Teşekkürler.
Just insane.
Banını açsanıza Eğlen
Ascend
Kenke'nin.
can't find anything around the map.
İzle şimdi abi,
They can't
başlıyor
find
mevzu.
any
Hadi
weakness to
bakalım.
exploit. Like I said, they keep having to commit to playing deep because the economy is so fragile. Starzo's
Yep,
just
fair
like,
enough. Fair
Oo
enough.
bunlar
Okay.
şeye salmış yani
Okay.
maçı salmışlar
Tabii
zaten.
tabii.
Right, 11-1. We're going to hand it back to the desk because there's probably not much more for us to be saying
that'd
about
be a
this.
pretty short segment actually, I
It
think.
might be. We'll find out. Let's head down.
I mean, it's Pansy and Hyper. We've got
Arkadaşlar,
triple OT written all
maç
over
dönmez.
this map. You know, the way they cast. But we talk about Gambit's slow start.
Bu map
Sean. I
dönmez
think they
aga.
heard us, and I think they disagreed with us.
Yeah, when Nats came through that cage,
Bu map dönmez. Next map Icebox.
got 2 entries.
Icebox'ta yolumuza
That was
bakacağız.
the beginning of the end, I would say.
But hang on. Okay, I hope I'm ready for the side of Ascend.
My God.
Looking at how this played out for Gambit is exactly what Sean and I were talking about. Do they have an attack side? Can they come out strong? And the one thing we've been seeing from Ascend is that they find an answer. They were just thrown for a loop this entire half.
Nets'te benim gibi skill'lerden bir tanesini şey dönüyor. Mouse butonda.
Bu arada çoğu öyle oynuyor ya kanka.
Kanka çok rahat ya. Ben de öyle oynuyorum. Bende mesela C skill'i ve ulti tuşlarda kanka. Mouse 4'te mouse 5 çok rahat oynuyorum.
Onu yapmadım.
C'ye basmak zor geliyor bana niyeyse.
Map'te 100 abonelik hediye net. Tamam. Hadi bakalım.
Dönerse ben de 100 atıyorum.
Dönerse ben de kendime 100 atıyorum amına. O derece inanmıyorum yani. Onurcan Erdem 23 aydır tier 3 subscribe. Hoş geldin balım. Çok teşekkür ederim Onurcan'cığım. Go Gambit go mu? Ulan bir şeyde de karşıt görüş olma ya Onurcan. Çocuk hep böyle ya. İlla böyle karşıt görüş olacak amına koyayım. Anarşist.
And Gambit are coming up big every time.
Well, Gambit, they made an impressive comeback today. Let's see if
Gambit seviyorum. Ne yapayım? Sen de.
to do so. Pansy and Hypok, over to you.
Yinzu. Yinzu. It's 11-1.
Please.
Come on. Come on, Yinzu. Keep it together. We're not that down tremendous yet. It's a best of 5, don't worry. We've got plenty more to be played out, but you can talk about the mental effect as much as, yes, they look a little calm and, you know, they're giving it
Hadi bakalım.
stage. You've just been thrashed. And that's a little tricky to bring that mindset back from. However,
Look
we
at how the
start
pistol
off...
round starting.
Yes. Oh, they're getting out of there. Oh, dear.
Ne oluyor oğlum? Nasıl pistol lan?
I think they're running away from us.
They literally have to bail on the zip line. They will
Right.
force a send into a quick hit towards B
Oğlum
though.
Gambit saldırı gibi oynuyor ya.
Expect this for the time being, but they look towards taking tower
Flash.
straight away.
Yeah, the flash is so
What?
good. Redguard just beheads Zeke. But there's 2 more potential victims. Look at this, they're all on the other side, and the
my
raid boss is
God.
here. Nats refusing to relent. This guy's a god right now.
Alo.
Untouchable by all accounts. Starzo, there's just a bounding defo in your face. As Rob
Net
Papen's
sen neymişsin aga ya?
12-1.
Who do you think won the rock paper scissors?
Ulan bari biraz inansaydık amına koyayım.
Talk about right now, right?
Yeah, talk to me.
Based on the tactical crouch, I think maybe Defo won both
22'ye 1.
rock paper scissors and that.
Seems
1v1
like it
there.
could be the case. And
Evet,
I
Cyber.
actually chalk this up to Ascend not quite being where they need
Hala
to be,
var mı inanç?
or the fact that Gambit
Adam
are
sırtladı
much
götürüyor
further
kanka
ahead.
ama.
Like how does this actually line up in your mind?
The scary thing for me,
Gördüğünü vuruyor
I
çocuk
know Sean
valla.
was really impressed with the performance previously by Gambit. This is so uncharacteristic
They're going.
of what we see from Gambit.
They're sending. They're full,
Full
sending.
send.
It is
Full send.
absolutely full
Bakar
send.
mısın abi üstlerine
Defo at the
koşuyorlar.
helm. This time Ascend are fighting back, but we know who still stands as
Ha
next.
siktir!
Finally gets
Let's go oğlum lan.
down. And Red
Helal!
Guard-
İşte bu, hadi. Hatırla 12-0 hatırla YouTube Vıtıcın.
They're cheering. We've got 2 rounds. They're cheering.
10 more?
Comeback İsrail.
Round by round. You know,
Hadi 10
Joe
round
always
daha
love,
oğlum. Hadi.
You know, like the
Kaldı
videos
10.
they make after, oh yeah, it's just round by round. It's like, you know, step by step, every inch of the way.
Think about the scoreline.
No,
Positiviz,
never think about the
positiviz.
scoreline. It's just, you know, in that moment.
Hadi çocuklar sadece oynayın.
Right.
Sezgin abi.
Imagine.
Kritik.
I want to see.
Kritik roundlardan
Yeah,
ilki.
Okay.
I would love to see him come back.
İlki. Daha ilki. Daha 9 tane daha var bundan.
It's getting a little livelier on the stage. Get a little
Yeah.
livelier in game as well. Ascend quickly push through A main here to find the opener on the back of Zeke. Trying to isolate Shados as well.
They still need to ensure, even with all this newfound confidence, they don't overcook it because there's still a little bit of
Çok güzel, çok güzel. Defo hiçbir şey yapamaz. Hiçbir şey yapamaz.
dealt with. Starzo does well to find them. And now 1v2.
Eyvah.
Does this do as much
Hiçbir
damage?
şey yok, hiçbir şey
No.
yok.
Starzo gonna push forward, try to get around it. Defo now knows where they are, but they're closing
Çok
the
güzel,
gap,
çok güzel, çok
but
güzel, çok güzel.
Starzo
12-3. Kaldı 9.
Kaldı
Kritik.
o kadar çocuklar.
Let's see now if Gambit.
Ananı sikeyim. Kilesi 2 kill. Combat story 42 kanka.
O da yanlışlıkla tararken adamlar
Aynen,
arka
aynen.
geçiyor. Kanka.
Well, no, actually, I didn't take a glance at the ultimate progress if there's anything else that Ascend can throw into this round.
Aa.
I mean, we laugh, but this is a big positive to not
is.
see Ascend kind of fold on themselves on stage, which you think
Yani-
back to the player cams. I hate to come back to again that 100 Thieves
It's
game.
their biggest loss that
They
they've
just
ever
looked
faced.
deflated. So
They did.
this is a huge positive for me.
Well, cned's still not having the time of his life. As much as his teammates may be loving it, he certainly isn't. And Nats has had his number. He's had pretty much everyone's number. He's at 25-3. Some more God's gift
That
to this
is
game.
madness.
Yep.
Absolute madness.
Round 16, by the way. 5v4 now. They need to get a pick back. They need to have something go cleanly in their way, and it's just not. Gambit on the verge of closing this one down. 3 more victims stand. Shados just toying with his meal. now has to be aware that he could be surrounded. He's dealing with the pressure well because he knows that Nats has his back.
Tamam al map senin olsun lan.
Swings in and it's all down to Star, so it's all but over. 13-3. A flawless end to the Neuron flawless map. This was decisive. It's all done high.
Yeah, like I said, we laugh about it, but this is a huge positive. With a performance like that, you just want to forget it. You want to pretend it didn't happen.
On. Next one.
Again, we come back to this. The talking point: Nats and Chronicle leading the charge here for Gambit. 26-3, 17-4. Chronicle huge in some of those attacking rounds.
Bir yandan da acaba bu kadar takmamak ile
the second prong to
iyi mi
Gambit's
yapıyorlar diye
default,
düşünmüyor değilim.
Nats able to command one side.